Okay, first, before we talk about our subject, I need to say something. I'm sorry about the Great Wall of China thing. Yeah, the name got mixed up. This badass tablet, a bad donkey tablet, bad donkey, and well, really, this tablet's been sucking me up for the past few hours. Not that much, because I've only had this for like 24 hours. No, not 24, even less than that. I think a little less than 24, tiny bit, but I've had that tablet, and then most of the time was sleeping. Slept pretty good one. Okay, let's go to the middle subject, the most critical subject we have to experience today, and the experiential subject is. Let's talk about the Bay of Pigs. Oh, you say 20th century is going to be over soon. Yes, it will. 19th century, yep. And so, okay, the Bay of Pigs invasion. It's pretty interesting to me. I think I'm going to do 9 minutes, 10 maybe, even 11, 12. Well, whatever minutes we can fit in, because I'm not dreaded on time here. I'm not going to look at that. Okay. The Bay of Pigs invasion. Set and will be set by President Eisenhower, but then was instigated by President John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Yep, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Cabled by President Eisenhower planned to remove Fidel Castro from power in Cuba. I think it's 1959 I set that up. But in 1961, President JFK started the plan to remove Fidel Castro from power in Cuba. And look what it turned into be. The Bay of Pigs invasion. The Bay of Pigs Act. The Bay of Pigs. But the Bay of Pigs was not that cool for the States, so they had to remove Castro from power, which they didn't, and he's still alive today. In his 90s. He's born in the 1920s, and he's almost 100. Fidel Castro's ruling power to remove him from Cuba. Removing him from Cuba was a very controversial decision, and it actually was. I'm serious. Do I look like this thin guy? But I don't know. I'm pretty knowledgeable. And if you think I'm a kiddie guy, I'm not. I'm a guy who likes these things. I have never played maybe 2 or 3 in my life. 2 or 3 doesn't mean 2 or 3 certain video games. No. I sought my time for knowledge. And actually, my whole life, I think video games are worse than watching TV. At least golf. Golf is the best sport ever. Okay, back to the Bay of Pigs invasion. The Bay of Pigs invasion turned out to be a very big failure. It just couldn't pinnacle. Fidel Castro was way powerfuler than the Cajuns. The Eisenhower plan switched under Kennedy just miserably was coming to that plan. And you know how the misery becomes? It's because of the Bay of Pigs invasion. And no obvious agenda. Only to not let the communist government of Cuba with Fidel Castro in its rule. And you know, my great aunt once sat at dinner with Fidel Castro. My great aunt made my mom's grant, and the realization that what is Fidel Castro is occasional. He's communist. He is a communist. Of course, he's a communist. But the one thing that Fidel Castro is, the United States is an enemy, a political enemy. Bay of Pigs invasion actually comes out to be very, very controversial plan that most people couldn't really talk about in decent ways. So if you talk about the Bay of Pigs invasion, set by Eisenhower, and then planned by Eisenhower, and then set up by Kennedy, and was currently Kennedy's fault, occasionally, but then because how the plan goes and is approving of it is how occasion. Fidel Castro's communist government in Cuba was one of the most crazy government in all of history. Because if you hear Fidel Castro say, "Oh yeah, communist governments are bad," oh yeah, that is definitely be a lie. It's a failure. The army is just caging the United States, and what the heck, Fidel Castro is still in power. Yeah, he only had been in power for like a few years, since 1960. But there was no Eisenhower plan in 1959? No, 1959. Plan the first year of his Cajun Fidel Castro. But the Bay of Pigs invasion is one of the most controversial and will be controversial. And let me apologize again for the China thing. Yeah, the Great Wall of China. It's just messing up this damn computer. Well, at least I have a computer. Well, that's the nice part. Okay. Bay of Pigs turns out actually to be a failure. Pretty much. There's less support for the army and and all that other stuff. Yeah. And you know what happens? There are some things that happen once in a while with the Bay Pigs invasion being a very becoming a empire seeking to remove a man named Fidel Castro from power in a small island called Cuba. Well, let's talk about Fidel Castro or something. I know he's talking about the United States and Asian history, but everything involved part of the world here. So, Fidel Castro's communist government and Cuba heroically piped it onto this 9-minute series. He's a very powerful government. And see, the Bay of Pigs invasion turns out to be a failure for the United States. This 9-minute series will be pretty much like almost of nations, because what happens to the Asian is the fact of Asians. Except when the Bay of Pigs invasion was over, the failure, the big failure was over, President Kennedy actually took full responsibility for the crises and this demeanor, because this 9-minute series is almost over. Yep, the last step of the Bay of Pigs was that he actually apologized for it and said sorry for that, because this was actually a bad plan, and Eisenhower was a Republican. So, they're more like a communist, the Democratic Party, but they're not anything like actually. We're about to leave actually soon, so this is a pretty long series actually. A little less longer than the Robert Kennedy assassination series, the John F. Kennedy skit. Okay, goodbye. We'll almost see you again. Just to remember that the Great Wall of China thing, I apologize for it, and the Pages of the Bay of Pigs is a haunt to America today.